It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sam Lesante, and remember, you can watch us on HD now, our channel 513. Don't forget, tune us in at 513. My guest today, folks, he is the acting Luzerne County manager working with a $260 million budget. Attorney Dave Pedri is my guest. Dave, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
My pleasure to have you on the show. What you're doing now as an acting Luzerne County manager. Tell us, just exactly what do you do?
Sure. Well, under our home rule government, our government was set up into a different area. We have a council now who handles all legislative actions and a manager who handles all the day-to-day actions of the county. So that's hiring and firing, that's making the decisions on the budget, that's the day-to-day operations of Luzerne County, making sure the trains still run, making sure the lights stay on. Really, if you look at this as a corporation, the county manager would be the CEO.
Okay. Now, with that being said, and you're the acting manager now, and if you do well, hopefully you'll throw your hat in the ring and become the actual manager. But let's look at the 11 council members.
Sure.
Okay. At one time, when they were voting for home rule, people thought it would be a school board situation. We have majorities and minorities, fights, et cetera, and then controlling the CEO. Okay. My thoughts would be that I think. What are the duties and responsibilities of the council?
Well, the council have a couple duties. The major thing that the county council does is the budget. They handle the budget, they set the budget, they approve the budget. That's their major issue. They have to approve certain contracts. They need to have oversight over the manager. They hire and fire the manager with a supermajority. But their major issue would be the budget for what council does.
Okay, so with that being said, if they're working with the budget, okay, and they have a CEO, well, doesn't the CEO put together a budget and say, look, this is what I think is appropriate, and then they dissect it and do what they have to do?
Exactly.
Okay.
October 15th, the budget is prepared, and then this year the county council went line by line through a $260 million budget and made cuts where appropriate and was able to pass a no-tax budget for 2016.
Okay, so
no
that,
tax increase, pardon me.
No, yeah, okay. So the thing is with the council then to get here is once you present a budget to them, okay, they in turn dissect it, as I said, and they look as to what they can do. And do they look for input from the county manager?
All the time, absolutely.
So now you have the county manager. Once they set the budget, then they say to the CEO, okay, fine, here's the budget. Now you have to run the show. We'll oversee and make sure that you would adhere to our budget. Is that correct?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, how much input do they have with the daily operations with the active manager?
Little to none. I mean, really, their job per our charter, per the law, is their job is more of an oversight in that capability, and the charter set up the county manager to really be the person who oversees the day-to-day operations. The goal behind that, from my understanding of people who are working with the charter, is so you don't have 11 people trying to get people jobs, 11 people trying to get people contracts. All those days are over.
Are they truly over?
Absolutely. One of the good things about Luzerne County home rule government is that we've entered into a merit hiring process. So it's not who you know or you have a friend at the courthouse to help you out or something along those lines. All of our county jobs are posted on the Luzerne County website. Resumes are redacted. Resumes are reviewed by the hiring managers. And our county contracts, we have over $100 million worth of county contracts. All of those, if possible, go out for bid. They go out for RFPs. And every county contract, every person the county hires, everything that happens in the county is on our county website. And that's one of the best things that happen in home rules, really the transparency.
When I interviewed Judge Burke and Bob and Whit Morelli, we talked about transparency, okay? And I think what happened was the public was, a little concerned about different things that were happening, okay? And we have transparency, right?
Without a doubt. If all you have to do is go onto the Luzerne County website and you'll see every email that was written by a council member to each other. You'll see every email that was written by a council member to the county manager. You're going to see every county contract. You're going to see who we hire, who we fire. You'll see all that information out there. Every right to know request. We have nothing to hide.
A good CEO, as like in any business, is able to surround him or herself with people who are more knowledgeable in different areas than they are, and know, just like, say what you want about Trump, the guy's a billionaire for a reason, okay? He is able to surround himself by people who are, much more educated or know more in the different areas. So when you begin to look at things and you need to fill in different positions, etc., where do you go and get your information from?
Well, we have, the way our government is set up is with 7 divisions. Budget and finance, corrections, administration, a couple other ones, public defender's office, obviously, and each of those are key team members to make sure that the county continues to run. Obviously, our budget and finance director is a major important position.
And who is that?
That would be Brian Sweats at this time.
And I'm sure he has all the credentials.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, as you're assessing things in the county, we got a $260 million budget here. We have a debt of about $380 million, correct? You inherited $400 million.
Correct.
That was how many years ago?
Yeah, that was 2012. The new form of government came in. It was a $400 million debt at that time, and the majority of county commissioners, unfortunately, kept borrowing, as opposed to making some tough decisions.
All right. So now accountability, which is any corporation, looks at different departments. Okay. How will you address, how will you look at accountability? So people are doing what they should be doing and making sure they stay in that, because the taxpayers, have to trust you as the active manager. I mean, they're getting slaughtered now with their taxes, okay, property taxes, county taxes, etc. So they're depending on a person like you and the council. They just voted a new council in. Hopefully, they'll work in the best way.
So, I mean, really, it comes down to management. It's making sure that the citizens of Luzerne County get the services they need. The Luzerne County Courthouse needs to be open to the citizens. That's an amazing jewel for our county, and it's funded by taxpayers. It's paid for by taxpayers, and the people who work there work for the taxpayers. We want to make their experience coming to record a deed, coming to file something at the Pathonetary's office, coming to file something in our courts, as beneficial and as easy as possible. And one of the first things I started to do when I took this position is look at a very simple thing. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's parking. Okay? I want to make sure that the Luzerne County citizen has a place to park and a clear sign as to where they have to go. Now, I work at the courthouse every single day, so it doesn't change that much to me. But for somebody who isn't there, who doesn't know what to do, who doesn't know how to file a will, who doesn't know how to do those things, those little things can make our experience better for our citizens.
You're going to deal with budgets with the different parts. So you actually have control over the judges, their budgets, in all of the different offices?
With regard to the judges, we set their budget, a number, and they do whatever they want to do with inside. Okay. I can't tell them how to spend the money.
No, I understand that. So, but then the same thing with the Sheriff's Department?
Sheriff's Department is under the county government. It's different.
Okay. So you set a budget for them?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. And the accountability factor is how do they report? How do you know that they're living within their budget?
Well, we have monthly budget reports through our budget and finance officer. In addition, we have constant contact with each of our departments with regards to filling vacancies and making sure that they have the necessary staff to do their job.
When I was the chairman of the board of the college, and we had the trustees, too many, 15 at the time, the point was that our job was we would set the policies, and then our job as a trustee, and I think it's still that way, is to see that the college was properly run, not to run it.
Correct.
Okay? And so when you have 11, and I think the council members you have now, they're pretty good. I mean, I've looked at their names and their backgrounds. I think you got a good board. And I think with the wealth of information that they could bring to you, okay, you'd be able to look at that and you have some good input. The idea is you don't need 11 people calling you every day. So what I had them do is call the chairman, me,
Sure.
and then I would present that so there wouldn't be 11 people calling you, okay? How are you looking at that?
Well, I want to make sure there was a lack of communication from a previous administration for management to the county council. So I want county council to be aware of what's going on in the county on a daily basis. And just before I came to this interview here today, we had an issue with a water main. I handled the issue internally, figuring out where people need to go, and then I wrote county council an email, so they don't have to pick up the paper and say, "Hey, listen, what's going on in Luzerne County?" I'm available to them. I have no problem meeting with them, but each of them understands that they in no way, shape, or form tell the county manager or tell county government what to do. It takes 6 of them to really to have a majority, to have a say.
And that's the thing that, where it goes back to the school board days, where you have a majority minority. And yes, you should have an exchange of ideas, and you're not going to have 11 people agreeing all the time,
No.
okay? And that's where the people think the politics is being played.
Right.
Okay? And so as acting manager, you need to know where to separate that, correct?
Oh, absolutely. I think that the council, there are 11 elected individuals, and there's 11 people there who were picked by citizens of Luzerne County to stand up for them, to say things for them.
Right.
And so you have to respect them and make sure that they have their say, and make sure that they have their ability to do whatever they want to do. And if there's a majority, we move forward with it.
And you're 100% correct. They ran for office. The public put them in for a reason. Folks, I'm talking to Dave Pedri, Attorney Dave Pedri. He is the acting Luzerne County manager, and he was assistant DA for 7 years and worked as a solicitor for 2.5 years. And we're going to come back. We'll talk about what's his vision, what are some of the key items we have to look for in the county, and most importantly is making sure the county is run properly, so we get the best for our investment. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us, folks. I'm Sam Lesante. Remember, you can watch all of our shows 24/7 on ssptv.com. My email is sam@ssptv.com. And don't forget, we're HD 513 as well as 13. So just make note of that for you who have high-definition TVs. We really appreciate the comments we're getting on our high-definition programming. My guest today, Attorney Dave Pedri. He is the acting Luzerne County manager. He's got control of $260 million. He had 1,400 people that's working in the county. And of course, there's 11 members on the council. So David, you have your work cut out for you. Okay, but you've been around and you have experience in that, okay?
I've been very lucky because in my capacity as solicitor, I got to work with almost every department, almost every division, and I know the projects that are going on.
And here's a side note, and I'm not saying this to patronize you, okay? But when I see you at these public meetings and your presentation and your professionalism and how you present things, we're very proud of you.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you very much.
I mean, and you always came up as professional. You handle things. You don't get personal. And I think we need more of that.
Well, that truly means the world to me. Try to be professional. Try to do what you can, and treat people with respect.
Because now you're going to be dealing with people, okay, and they're going to be knocking. And you know what? As a person said to me, no one has a monopoly on ideas.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Speaking of ideas, and so what's your vision now? What are the key items? What are some good news things that are happening in Luzerne County?
Well, too often has Luzerne County been painted with a negative brush. Obviously, everybody knows the scandals, the corruption that happened in 2009 and 2010 in Luzerne County.
Let's move on now.
But
right?
we're beyond that.
Yeah.
We're beyond that at this point. We shouldn't be painted with that same brush. We have some amazing people working in Luzerne County, some hard workers, and we have some great programs working on. One of the things that I wanted to take this opportunity to announce is that Luzerne County Emergency Management Association is putting together what's called a Swift Reach messaging system. This is an amazing system that it will give notifications to Luzerne County residents. All the information will be on the Luzerne County website, www.luzernecounty.org. In addition, each municipality has the ability to opt into this, to give information to their residents. It's a messaging system that has intergovernmental cooperation as well as being able to notify the public. It's exactly what the county should be doing, and we're happy to announce that today.
That's fantastic. So what are some other things that you're going to be looking at? Because you were there before and you saw the fact there was, I know you're going to open lines of communication, which I think are critical.
I appreciate that.
That's critical.
One of the major issues that I want to review is County Council has set a budget to make sure we have renovations done to the Luzerne County Courthouse, to make sure that water damage is taken care of, and to make sure that the citizens of Luzerne County, that we keep this jewel of Luzerne County for our children and our children's children. I want to make sure that those projects are completed. I also want to make sure that the citizens of Luzerne County know that they can come and have ideas and have options. We're available to them. We serve the people, and it's an honor to serve the people. And we want to make sure that they have the ability to do that.
That's very interesting you should say that. We have a lot of great talent, excuse me, in Luzerne County. A lot of people who were involved in businesses or had businesses or worked in places that were very successful that are moved back into the area. And this talent just sitting there, the creative juices that these people have. If they could come forth and say, look, I have some suggestions. We have revenue. We need revenue to pay our bills. And so, of course, we look for taxes, et cetera. I think some people may have some excellent ideas to bring additional revenue in. Have you been looking at areas other than raising taxes to bring in revenue?
Well, that's been literally the $1 million question we've been trying to find. One of the major things the county has done is we've been trying to get rid of excess properties. The county just sold the Valley Crest facility, which was an old nursing home the county ran. We sold it for $2 million. That's $2 million that doesn't have to come off of the Luzerne County citizens for their taxing purposes. We're open for suggestions on revenue purposes. I was even kicking around the idea of doing something like naming a bridge or doing something along those lines, or maybe have corporate entities assisting us in different endeavors. There's people out there that want to help. There's people out there that want to be involved. We have authorities, boards, and commissions as well in Luzerne County. We're looking for volunteers, and we're open for business.
Well, I think, when you say about, that's interesting. You name a bridge after yourself and a guy gives you $1 million to do that. It's not unheard of, believe me when I tell you.
Right.
Okay. Looking for, when you look at the $260 million bill, just get back to that. If I go to the website, can I see where that $260 million is going?
You'll see the Luzerne County $260 million budget. We don't have a day-to-day update, obviously. It's very...
Each department, each department gets.
It's right out there in the open. That's one of the best things about home rule is that we have, like I said before, it's right out there in the open, right out there on the website. People would like to take a look at it, and we have council meetings the second and fourth Tuesday of every month in Luzerne County. We have members of the public that come every single meeting, and they give ideas, they give their thoughts. We would encourage people to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of your ideas, you've been there for 2.5 years,
sure.
Right? When you were there, okay, we all see different things differently. One of the things is communication, and I think that's critical. But open door policies are good, and then they're bad. The good part is, someone comes in there and starts telling you different things, etc. But then the bad thing is you never get any work done.
Sure.
Because they're always telling you and then sometimes someone comes in with a great idea on your team, and you have seen it up here. You really think it's a good, but you cannot implement it. Now, do they get mad because you don't do that, and do you have to? I mean, that's called human nature, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it takes a specific person to handle that. I think you could do that.
Well, I appreciate that.
What about those challenges?
Well, it's going to be difficult. I mean, listen, I'm a week into it. so far, so good. Yeah. I've got some very nice emails and some very nice visits. I do have a job to do, and so I can't, unfortunately, be talking to citizens on a daily basis. But I have scheduled in my schedule, it's been very busy, but I've scheduled off time where I'm going to be walking around the courthouse. I need to make sure that the Luzerne County employees know, the clerks, the typists, the people who actually do the day-to-day grunt work, they have the ideas. An amazing idea came to me the other day from a union member who came to me and said, listen, we're not using these forms correctly. We should be utilizing these forms. It's an easy fix. It helps everybody, and it cuts government bureaucracy. I mean, easy fixes, and that's what we're looking for.
Well, and I think that's critical. You know, when you say you block a time, there's times, I guess, where you could say, look, my door is open. I'm available from
Sure.
Friday mornings from 9 to 11.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after that, I got to do my job.
If it gets a little busy, I'm going to take you up on that.
No, well, I do it. You have to do it. I mean, because you have things that you're working
Absolutely.
on. I mean, let's assume like you had a concern this morning.
Right.
Well, if someone says, just a minute, Dave, I want to talk to you, but you will say, well, I can't speak to you right now.
Well.
But however, I do have open times Monday, Wednesday. I don't know. I mean, it's
My door's always open to you, Sam.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
you want to stop.
no. The idea is that, you know, you get bogged down when you have a good man doing or a good woman doing their jobs. And your job is going to be, you know, concerning because you're going to have 11 council members who may say, look, there's different positions available. Like you have different committees, okay, that you have to appoint. You're appointing the trustees for the college.
Correct.
That's critical, okay? You know, at that time, one time it was the commissioners who did that, okay? So you certainly want to get people in there who are going to be able to grow. You have the arena board, okay?
Arena board, redevelopment authority,
Yeah.
flood protection authority,
Yeah.
major issues.
Yeah. So those are the areas where who do you know, how do you fill those positions? And I know there's an area, and if, for example, if I want to be on the arena board, okay, in my background and experience, there's an application that you.
There's an application on the Luzerne County website. Once again, this is an opportunity for Luzerne County to show that, listen, it's not who you know or I made a phone call and I got on a board. There's an application on the Luzerne County website. Any Luzerne County citizen can fill it out and bring it in. There would be an interview process in public, right out there in the open, and then council makes a public vote.
See, and that's important because here again, if you have great people in these different committees, for example, the arena board, I go there. If you have creative people there that can bring in other venues to create more income, okay, that if you bring great trustees who could bring more revenue in via their experience, that's important. Folks, I'm talking to Dave Pedri. He is the acting Luzerne County manager, and so far he's off to a great start. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember, 24/7, SSPTV.com. All of our programs are there. And remember, HD, we're HD at channel 513. My guest today is attorney Dave Pedri. He is the acting Luzerne County manager. You really hit the road running, haven't you?
Well, I only got one speed, Sam. I'm like you. You gotta moving.
You gotta keep going. All right. So, in case someone just tuned in right now, they're looking at. Okay, tell us what your responsibilities are, what you're looking for, how they see the county government going.
Sure. The county manager's job is to really be the CEO of the Luzerne County Corporation. And we have to make sure that everything is running appropriately, we're staying within budget, and most importantly, we're providing the necessary services to Luzerne County residents.
And you're looking for input. Okay?
Absolutely.
You have a good board, and I'm wishing you the best. And I'm telling you, so far what you've done in the county, you know, you've handled yourself as professional, and you've been able to address different situations in a very nice and polite manner, and that's great.
Well, I appreciate that. We're trying to bring the positive back to Luzerne County. We're trying to show this is a new day in Luzerne County. We have a proud workforce, and we want to make sure that we can do our job.
Well, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Okay, and thanks for coming on the show, and maybe you'll decide to put your hat in the ring and become the manager, Luzerne County
We'll
manager.
see. It's an honor being here. Thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. Dave Pedri, folks. Remember, you can go to the website. And what's the website?
www.luzernecounty.org.
Okay, and there's all the information you need to know. It's transparent, and you'll take it from there. Once again, thanks for coming on the show.
you.
We'll see you next time.